A very warm welcome to Smell the Coffee. We are here to entertain you, inform you, and everything in between. My name is Ainara Izakaya alongside Diana Master. Hey girl.
Hey girl, how you doing?
Momkase.
Samuka mamukase.
Samuka listen, tell me something, ne? I've always wondered if you could deliberately talk in your sleep, what would you say?
I'm afraid of what I'd say.
Not that Hebrewish that you're always talking when you're tired, that one that we can't even pick up. I know a lot of people speak in their sleep, but that's not deliberate.
Yeah.
But like, if it was a thing, what would you say? If you had like, say one thing in your sleep, what would you say?
I don't know, man. I feel like I would expose people's secrets. That's why I'm terrified of what I'd say in my sleep. Because I actually used to sleep talk as a kid. And I would say things like I would speak about what was happening in my dream. Yeah. So I always used to ask my mom to record me so that I hear what I was saying. Because I want to know. Because most of the times when I'd wake up, I wouldn't remember the dream. And my mom would be like, oh, hey, I thought I heard you talking to someone last night. Were you on the phone? I'm like, no, I wasn't on the phone. So then I would then sleep with my mom so that I could hear, so that she could record me and I could hear what I was saying. But she always fell asleep before me, so it was pointless.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I wouldn't say anything. I think sometimes silence is best.
Golden.
It just sleep. It's sleep. Just
But
rest.
why would you talk in your sleep? Like, I'm curious, where did this come from?
No, it's just like
Like a
curious-
random thought.
Random thought. What would you say? I think that some people would say everything they would say when they are drunk. Everything that they don't have the courage to say in their sober state of mind. I think another person might say that in their sleep.
But you know, they say a drunk man's words are a sober man's thoughts.
I would also assume that, you know, and what a sleeping man's words their thoughts,
Our
their
conscious man's thought process. Like, I don't know, man. Talking in your sleep, like I said, I was always so terrified about what I said because I'm like, did I expose some secrets? You know, also as a teenager, you have things that you don't want your mom to know. So now I'm like, did I say that? Like, does she know what I've been up to? You know, so it's always terrifying not knowing what you do in your unconscious state. That's why I'm even scared of going under anesthesia, because when you go under, like, you get, in a way, you're like high, right? And you don't know what you're saying. I've watched many videos online of people that have gotten like anesthesia, and they're just talking gibberish and they're talking nonsense, and it's funny. And then other people just say things like, oh yeah, no, I killed that person and her body is where.
Yeah.
Like, nah, I'm scared of what you do unconsciously. At least consciously you can control what you say, what you want people to know. Now you're there telling everyone all your secrets. Imagine.
And tomorrow when you wake up, everyone is looking at you like,
I didn't know you aborted 15 pregnancies.
It's
like,
you. All right, please do engage us in the comment sections. Tell us what you would say if you were asleep. We will be right back after the short commercial break with entertaining news right here on Smell the Coffee.
Now, if you've been an avid follower of Smell the Coffee, you'll know that I love to bring some bizarre stories. Starting off, a suburban Chicago man is facing firearm charges after he told officers he accidentally shot himself in the leg while dreaming that an intruder was breaking into his home, police said. The Lake Barrington man was charged about 2 months later, 2 months after Lake County Sheriff's deputies were called to his home on April the 10th on a report about a person with a gunshot wound, police said. Deputies who found the 62-year-old man with a gunshot wound to one of his legs applied a tourniquet to the limb because he was losing a significant amount of blood before he was hospitalized, police said. The man told investigators he had a dream that someone was breaking into his home, and during the dream he retrieved his .357 Magnum revolver and shot at who he believed was the intruder, police said. When he fired, he shot himself and apparently woke up from the dream, police said in a news release. You see why I'm scared of sleeping and saying, do you see why this?
Do you see why our intro was
relevant?
To this question.
I like your brain. I like your brain. I like how your brain
story.
operates.
But for him to be arrested, he was arrested.
He was arrested because he illegally possessed, like the firearm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No,
so it's
I
just
thought
firearm
that
charges.
I thought he was, arrested for shooting himself while sleeping. What?
But it's in a way.
In the dream. Wait, he dreamt that there was an intruder. And thereafter, he took
So basically, he
woke up.
He sleepwalked.
Okay.
Basically, like, I would assume that's what happened. Like, he was dreaming, and then in this dream, it was so vivid, he saw an intruder. He sleepwalked, got his gun, came back, shot himself, and he was like, ow, that actually hurts. And then he woke up. I don't know, man.
So when while shooting his own leg, he thought he was shooting the intruder. Yo.
In a way,
Yo.
maybe it's too soon, but in a way, it's kind of giving Oscar Pistorius at his trial, saying, I thought there was an intruder.
Yo.
Like,
something is off.
Something is definitely off, because like, why was your first instinct to just go get a gun and shoot and just start shooting? I don't understand. And then you shot yourself in the foot, quite literally.
Sometimes I think that people have guns for the wrong reasons. Yes, you're supposed to
America.
You're supposed to have a gun to protect yourself. I just don't know what happens for you to cross that bridge and use that gun to do other things that are probably not even related to the protection of yourself and those that you love.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Because, like you're saying, I'm also trying to understand, did he sleepwalk to go get the gun? Or was he having, like, they call it lucid dreaming, where basically you see everything happening, but it's not actually happening, but it feels like you are awake and you are experiencing all of this. I don't know if it was lucid dreaming or if he was having, okay, it can't be sleep paralysis, because with sleep paralysis you can't do anything.
Yeah.
So it was probably lucid dreaming, and then he got the gun. But if it was lucid dreaming, then he would know that I am me, because when you're having a lucid dream, you know that you are you. So maybe this man needs to go for psychological evaluation.
Let him go to jail first for the gun. All right, now we'll move over to our next story. An Ecuadorian woman has died days after mourners at her funeral were shocked to find her alive in her coffin. Now, Bella Matonya, who's 76, was first declared dead by a doctor at a hospital in the city of Babahoyo last week. But when mourners attending her wake heard her knocking on the coffin, she was immediately rushed back to the hospital for treatment. After 7 days in intensive care, Ecuador's health ministry confirmed she died on Friday from a stroke. The ministry statement added that she had remained under permanent surveillance while at the hospital. Speaking to a local newspaper, her son Gilbert Bebera said this said, "This time my mother died for real. My life will not be the same." What's funny?
No, it's just the fact that he said, for real this time, guys, I'm not lying.
It says, this time my mother did die.
For real, for real. Like,
real.
No, but imagine the trauma of being at a funeral, right? You're at a wake.
And you hear someone knocking. Oh my gosh.
In African culture, it's like, it's witchcraft.
It's a witchcraft.
It's a witchcraft. Like,
I don't appreciate the admin. Like, really? I don't appreciate the admin that she was declared dead. People had to go through this process, go buy a coffin, take her to the graveyard.
Okay.
But she's not dead.
I have a lot of questions.
It's the fact that she had to go back to go actually die.
I have a lot of questions.
Too much.
First of all, as a doctor, how are you accidentally pronouncing people dead? Second of all, when someone dies, don't they go to a mortuary? They're placed in a freezer where literally your body freezes in there. So if you're accidentally alive, surely you will die from hypothermia. Like, because you get so cold, because those refrigerators are in the minus.
Yes.
Right? So are you telling me, okay, first of all, this qualified medical professional came, looked at her and was like, yeah, it's giving dead, all right? Gave her death certificate.
Who pronounced her dead?
It was the doctor. The doctor pronounced her dead. What happened between the time she left the hospital to go to the funeral home for her wake? Because obviously they need to refrigerate the body. Unless immediately after she died, they're like, no, we're not going to bury her. Like, we're not going to keep her in the mortuary. We're going to bury her immediately.
Wait, actually, let me read the full story. It says, following her death on 16 June, Miss Matonya was taken back to the same funeral home ahead of her burial at the public cemetery, local media reports. Local media also reported that Miss Matoya had a condition called catalepsy, where a person experiences seizures, loss of consciousness, and the body becomes rigid. Maybe that's why she was pronounced dead.
No, but as a doctor, you are supposed to be trained to know all of these things. Because
when the person is actually dead.
There are times where literally your heart stops, right? And then they have to sort of like electrocute you and shock you back so that your heart gets back into rhythm. You know, you get a pulse back. That I would understand, right? Because sometimes, even without, but I've only seen this in movies, where even without them shocking you, you just come back to life. Because, I don't know, man, you were knocking on heaven's door and then you came back. But in a case like this, because I think for me, what's so dumbfounding is the fact that after she died, did her body not go to the mortuary? Or at the mortuary, did they not place her in the refrigerator? Like, I have so many questions. And also, just the trauma that her family faces. Imagine mourning this person.
Yeah.
You realize she's alive. You're happy, and
that
then a week later,
and
she dies.
She dies, for real.
Like, I've had people ask me, what would you do if your dad came back to you right now? I wouldn't want him to come back. Because I can't handle the pain of losing him again.
Yeah.
I don't want that. So I can't imagine the trauma that this family and her son is going through. If I were them, I would definitely sue, because obviously now you have to look at other things like medical negligence as well. Because if you're accidentally pronouncing a person dead, how do we know you actually administered the correct treatment for her?
Sure.
Yeah, so many questions. But anyway, rounding off our top stories, a drug syndicate hid meth in Canadian maple syrup, canola oil bound for down under, authorities said. A drug syndicate that tried to smuggle tons of methamphetamine from Canada to Australia and New Zealand by hiding it in shipments of maple syrup and canola oil has had its ruse busted, authorities said on Thursday. Authorities from the three nations say they worked together for more than 5 months to unravel the elaborate scheme that was worth billions of dollars. Australian police said they intercepted 4 separate hauls of meth, weighing more than 6 tons, and filed charges against 6 men. They said that in January, Canadian authorities alerted them that 2,900 liters of liquid meth had been hidden in 180 bottles of canola oil bound for Australia.
Oh, wow. Okay.
These are things you see
In movies.
In movies and
not
on
in
TV.
not in real life.
Not in real life, but criminals are getting smarter.
This is what you see on TLC.
Yeah. Like, it's what you see on Law and Order. And I think Queen of the South, there was a season where this was how
What
they
do
were
you mean
smuggling
criminals are getting smarter? If
They can-
anyone is smart, is a criminal. Criminals are very smart.
No,
they use their mind.
Criminals are very
fast.
smart, but also you have to remember, because we live in an age where we're so exposed to information, and information is readily available at our fingertips.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, that season of Queen of the South, where they were smuggling drugs in water bottles. I'm sure someone watched that and was like, hey, I wonder what would happen. I wonder if it's possible. And they tried it and it worked.
was possible.
And they're like,
Yeah,
okay. Because in Queen of the South, they would get the meth, basically sort of like, I don't know if they would melt it, I don't know what they would do, but it would turn liquid. And then they would transport it, and then they would crystallize it again after it got past wherever it needed to go.
Yeah, okay, smart.
So TV, in a way, I think we should have this discussion again sometime, where we talk about the influence of, like these crime series and crime documentaries, and whether or not they actually help criminals get smarter and find a way past certain things.
But like, aren't they just a replica of what is already happening
Could
on
be.
the ground?
Okay, if you say it like that, then I don't get as frightened.
Because what we see on television is a reflection of our society.
True,
It's
of what's already happening and what's already out there.
Yeah, on the ground.
Okay, when you say it like that, I'm a little more at ease, because no lie, I've always thought about this for a while, to say, but wait a minute, all these crime documentaries and crime shows teaching us about how this thief managed to do this, how they managed to evade the system, isn't that in a way helping some other criminals? But if you say it could be taken from cases that already happened, then okay, I can relax.
All right, now moving over, Ronelle Peters of the Roger Eliham Foundation talks to our colleague Precious about the work that she does. This in our interview segment after the break.
Are seated at the Rauch Elohim Foundation next to Ms. Ronelle Peters. Ronelle, how are you doing?
Very fine, thank you very much.
Okay, so we are at the foundation.
Get real value for your money at WB. Grab 750-gram Ellis Brown creamer for $41.99. Wake up to 250-gram Recoffee for just $39.99. Get 2-kilogram Real Good mixed chicken for $86.99. Stock up with 500-gram Bacomo cornflakes for $32.99. And grab 1-liter Clover New Mel for just $17.99. Now that's real value at WB. We care.
Yeah, I'm Gideon from Opur, and we create toy cars for kids, these plastic toy cars. And these ones can light even, if you can look on the front. Yeah, and we made machines like extruders machines and mold, whereby injecting plastic, melted plastic into molting. Yeah, and we collect any plastic, any kind of plastic, from bottle plastic, crates, and carry bags, plastics, any kind of plastic. We can use it with no limit even. Yeah. When we were kids, we were using bottles and caps to design cars during childhood, and we didn't want it to stop there with our game. That's why we decided to start making prototype cars for our African child or kids to play or to have fun with. Yeah, that is all.
And for how long
have you been creating these cards?
Like when did we start with cars? Or it was 2017, I think. 2017 is when we started our business, and to make the one car, it takes up to 30 minutes to complete the body to melt.
That's quick.
Yeah, and to assemble it, it will take 2 to 3 hours only. Yeah.
So how many do you produce now in a week?
In a week, it all depends, because you might have obstacles with plastic, because some plastic make some parts, different plastic, different parts. Like for wheels, you need to take at least crates plastics, and for the body any plastic, and maybe you can make 15 to 16 per week. Yeah.
And where are these cards available in Namibia?
Available in Namibia. We're based in Mapua, but you can find us on website, on Facebook, Instagram, as a KGC.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Sisters are not dirty people. World leaders are pontificating about the effect of global warming. Symposium after symposium, talking on every podium. Everyone is putting forward, Meme, what are you doing? Everyone is putting forward their own solution. Mine is a minor revolution. Abolish those recycling stations. Now modify your Murumetu. Now modify your expectation. After you've made your perfect purchase, give up your desire to ditch and replace. Each yearly change, simply for fashion, makes massive inroads. Tate makes massive inroads into our resource ration. Exchanging for something effective needs a mind that is defective. Keep using and don't keep abusing. Our ancestors are not dirty people.
Our ancestors are not dirty people.
Our ancestors are not
To
dirty people.
commemorate the World Environment Day 2023, as we jointly commemorate the day, I urge all of us, the government, the civil society, the private sector, academia, bilateral and multilateral partners, and all citizens to renew our commitment
Hello and welcome to today's Sports Rep Show.
I am your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraika. In replay, Namibia, who had won the toss for the first time on this tour.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, starting off with tennis news, both on the WTA for women's and
Well, it's another fantastic episode
Full of laughs.
Smell the Coffee. Yeah, another one in the bag. Fantastic, engaging, absolutely top-notch premium
top-notch
content.
premium content,
Love.
full of laughs, full of bizarre news, questionable news as well, I would say. But other than that, I think it was a fun episode. Also a little informative, considering that last segment, our Talk of the Town segment. It's interesting to see people recycling material and using it like that. You wouldn't really think. I guess if creativity is not your thing, you wouldn't think to do something like that. But if creativity is your thing, then yeah, sure, doing something like that seems easy and fun. But I would say I definitely had a lot of fun on today's episode. I hope you did too.
I did. It's Tuesday. Choose yourself. Choose the people that you love.
Choose happiness.
Choose happiness.
Choose money.
I was just going to say that.
Choose money. Choose the bag. Always chase the bag.
On that note, all our love, all our light.
Adios.